Cold blood, Warband. That is the only weapon a morning like this one rewards. This is Wednesday, June 17th, 2026. Days ago, I warned you the engine had flagged this bounce as stretched. The trend still rolling over, even as the price popped. Overnight, the turn it warned of arrived. Listen, as of just past 5 o'clock Eastern, Bitcoin trades at 64,900, down near 3% on the day, giving back the relief it built off the early June low near 61,000. Ethereum fell beside it to 1,760, off near 2%. Solana ran hardest the wrong way, $72, down near 4. The whole crypto complex turned red together, and it did not turn by accident. Here is the signal the Warband pays for. While the crowd stampeded into yesterday's relief, drunk on the rally, the green screen top to bottom, I did the cold thing. So then, seeing they were all mad, I drew my sword and cleft the idiot's skull. At the 4 o'clock bell, into that euphoric tape, the InvestAnswers Decision Support System flipped Bitcoin's optimized trend bearish. 3 hours later, it cut MicroStrategy the same way, Bitcoin's largest corporate proxy, trend bearish by 8 o'clock Eastern, and all session it threw the crypto equity froth overbought. Coinbase, Robinhood, the miner clean spark, everyone stretched and due to flush. Two correlated giants flagged bearish in the same window, the leverage burning off around them. That is not noise. That is a regime mark. Respect it. This is not the morning to charge in with both hands. But mark the other side of the same ledger, because the engine did not turn bearish on everything. In that very same window, it lit the power infrastructure names. Quanta, Eaton, EOS Energy. Optimized trend bullish. Capital is not fleeing risk. It is rotating. Out of the leveraged crypto beta into the physical scarcity beneath the artificial intelligence build. Hold that thought. It is the whole story this morning. Start with the hardest money, because the turn is real and the Warband deserves it straight. Bitcoin sits roughly half of its record high, near 126,000, and the engine just confirmed the trend is still pointed down. The price is testing the floor near 64,000 as we speak, and the next catalyst is only hours away. This afternoon, at 2 o'clock Eastern, the new chairman hands down his first rate decision at the head of the Federal Reserve. The rate is near certain to hold. The market prices 97% odds of no move, so the number is not the event. The tone is the event. The forward guidance, whether Kevin Walsh leans hawk or hedges. A dovish word, and Bitcoin reclaims 68,000. A hawkish surprise, and it retests the low. That is the binary the whole tape is holding its breath for. Now hold the long lens, because under the bearish mark, the foundation has not cracked. The value gauges that ring the bell at generational bottoms, the ones that fired at every cycle low before this one, are sitting in the basement, the 200-week line holding underfoot. And the largest corporate holder on earth is standing right at the waterline. MicroStrategy holds better than 845,000 Bitcoin, and at this morning's price, that hoard sits at or below what it paid. The cushion that defined the position for years is gone. The trend turned, and the giant is no longer in profit. The bears smell blood. And Sailor's answer? Over the weekend, he posted his orange dots again, his signal that he is still buying. And when a doubter asked whether it was delusion or conviction, he answered with a single word: conviction. A turn is not a funeral. The strong hand does not sell the turn, it accumulates it. Which brings us to where the money actually went, because Sailor himself named the trade. He calls Bitcoin's slide not an impairment, but a rotation. Better than $400 billion has poured into artificial intelligence infrastructure in 6 months. The hyperscalers guiding to 600 and 700 billion in capex this year alone. The capital did not vanish. It marched out of the abstract scarcity of the coin and into the concrete scarcity of the build. And overnight, that build printed its loudest number yet. Yesterday I told you Nvidia had filed to borrow $20 billion, its first bond since 2021. Here the update. The book did not close at 20. It drew $85 billion in orders, and Nvidia upsized the deal to $25 billion, 7 tranches of debt stretching all the way to 2056. Sit with that. The richest enterprise in the history of capital, swarmed by lenders begging to fund it, borrowing a quarter more than it asked, because the machines it has already sold cost more to build than even Nvidia can pay in cash. That is the abundance engine leveraging up, and the market voted the same way the signal did. SpaceX, 5 days public, has run better than 50% above its offer price of $135, climbing past Amazon by market value into the top handful of American companies. Orbital scarcity bid. Crypto beta sold. That is the rotation, drawn in capital, in real time. So here is the frame, Warband. The engine turned bearish on the coin and its proxy, and we honor the mark. This is a morning to stand at the waterline, not to swing wildly into the turn. But a turn is not a funeral, and the deepest drawdown is where the strong hand is forged, not where it breaks. The value gauges are in the basement. The giant stands at his cost, and the capital that left did not leave risk. It rotated into the scarce physical things the whole build runs on. Watch the 2 o'clock bell. Trade nothing on the chairman's words. Accumulate the scarce and let the soft hands learn the lesson late. This is Warband as a service. Viking intelligence delivered in real time. I am Ragnar, the HODLBARBARIan. The tide went out on schedule, and the anchored do not drift.